One of our viewers wrote in and asked me a question. Andrew, I don't have many assets. Do I need an offshore bank account? I'm going to answer that question in this video. Hi, I'm Andrew Henderson, and Jordan asked a great question. He says, Andrew, I'm just starting out. I don't have a lot of money. I read your book, and one of the baby steps you tell me I can do is I can open a bank account in another country. But do I really need to do that now, even if I don't have very much money? And my answer to this is, it depends. The question is, will you ever have a situation where having a bank account in another country will benefit you? What are the potential benefits? There's an asset protection benefit. There's a diversification benefit, holding other currencies, having access to invest in other markets. There are many different benefits that we talk about at Nomad Capitalists for having money in another country. It may just make it easier to live somewhere else or to travel. Maybe having a debit card from a country like here in Georgia is just easier to use or has lower costs if you're traveling the world than a bank account where you're from. And so if any of those benefits help you today or may help you in the future, then it's probably a good idea to get started now, precisely because, in my opinion, it's only going to get harder to open a bank account overseas. For US citizens, we've talked for years about how it's not exactly that easy in many countries to open a bank account at all. They see born in the USA, even for me, as a former US citizen, and they say, oh, we don't like this. There are plenty of banks that will accept US citizens, but it becomes a bit more difficult. And now you have FATCA for the US, for the world, what's called CRS, where there's a lot more requirements that banks are asking of people who want to open accounts. And I think it's only going to get more difficult. They're only going to close more of these doors. What generally happens, particularly on the personal side in my experience, is if you open a bank account now, you can continue to use that bank account even if they wouldn't accept you at a later date. I have an account, for example, in Singapore. I opened it with $1,000 a long time ago. It's a great bank account, stable. I have a debit card. I have excellent online banking. I can send money, and I have access to hold Singapore dollars, which I think is a very nice currency to hold as a diversification. I also can easily send money to other people in Singapore when I'm buying stuff in Singapore or making investments throughout Asia. And the reality is they would probably no longer accept a foreigner for that account. They'd want to see a residence permit. They probably wouldn't accept US citizens or someone like myself with US indicia, and so that account wouldn't be available to me now. But in many cases, well, they might close a corporate account or they might not. On the personal side, they're generally going to say, okay, fine, this guy's in, we know who he is, we've done our KYC, and we're going to let him keep the account. And so by setting up that tunnel, as I would call it, years ago, I get to keep using that account that wouldn't be available to me now. So if you have a need now, and make sure you consider all the potential needs. Again, having a foreign account may just mean having a better debit card to travel around the world. That can be a need. It doesn't have to be all about tax or all about diversification or protection. It could be some kind of lifestyle benefit. If you don't have any benefits now, but you think you might want that in the future, i.e., hey Andrew, I'm thinking of living the nomad lifestyle, but 2 years from now. If you can fly and get on a plane somewhere and go spend a day opening a bank account or two and getting that stuff set up, I think that'll be helpful for you because you're locking in the benefits now, you're getting it set up now, and not only that, but you can work out the kinks now. You can figure out how does the online banking work. You can get a rapport going with the bank. They can understand your transaction patterns. They can know, what you're all about. So then when you really need it, it's available to you. Of course, not everyone needs an account. I think it's a great diversification step for people who want to be global citizens. But if you're never going to have a need for it, then obviously don't collect shiny objects. I never encourage people to do stuff that they don't have any need for. But a future need could be as good as a current need when it comes to opening that foreign bank account.
I'm Andrew Henderson, and if you're looking for a way to legally reduce your taxes, build your freedom, and create wealth faster as a global citizen, then you've come to the right place. I want you to do 3 things right now. Number 1, click the button to subscribe to our channel. Make sure to get notifications so you never miss a new video. Number 2, get a copy of our #1 best-selling book, Nomad Capitalist, on Amazon and learn all of the dozens of benefits of our lifestyle. And number 3, if you're already a 6 or 7-figure entrepreneur and you want to put these strategies in place, go to nomadcapitalist.com and find out how to get some help.